Alrighty, friends. In this video, we're going to review talking about the area of shapes, just 2D shapes for right now. So remember that the area is the space inside of whatever shape you have. So like all of this highlighted in purple, that would be the area of this rectangle. So we are going to start with the area of a rectangle. So you should be on the rectangle square. The area of a rectangle is given by the base. So down here would be the base times the height. So that would be the height. So all I really need to do is start by writing my formula. So area equals base times height, and then fill in what I know. So my base right here is 4 times my height right here is 7. So my area is 4 times 7, which is 28. And then I have my units of yards squared. So right here, this unit is just a label. Okay? You are not squaring anything else. It is just a label. So your area of this rectangle is 28 yards squared. Let's move on to the square. Alright, same thing. We're finding how much space is inside of this square. So what is the amount that is taken up by everything shaded in red? Close enough. I'm going to start by writing my formula. Base times height. Here's my base. Here's my height. So my area is found by taking 4 times 4, which is 16. My units is miles squared. Remember, just a label. I'm done with the math. It's just a label at this point. Our next shape is a triangle. And I'm just going to real quickly explain why is it 1/2 base times height. So if I have a square or rectangle, the area is the base times the height. I can split that into 2. So I can cut it in half, and I get a triangle from that right here in blue. So if I take the area of the square and split it in half, that gives me the area of a triangle. That's why it's 1/2 base times height. I'm just going to erase that real quick. Just a quick explanation. So I start by writing my formula. Then I fill in what I know. Here's my base. And this one is my height, the one that goes up and down through the triangle. That is my height. I have 1/2 times those. So 1/2 times 5 times 3.1. I'm going to go ahead, take 5 times 3.1, and I get 15.5. And now I need to take half of that. So 1/2 times something is the same as dividing it by 2. So I'm going to take 15.5 divided by 2. I get 7.75 feet is my unit squared. You can also think in a house, when it's like saying the size of the house, they say, oh, this house is 1,000 square feet. It's telling you how much floor space you have. So you can think of it that way if that's helpful. All right, last but not least, we have the area of a circle. So remember that area of a circle is pi times the radius squared. That little 2 means squared. And the radius squared, right here, is really the radius times itself. So radius times radius. And here it is as an equation. If you want, you can write up here that the approximation for pi is 3.14. So I start by writing my formula every time. Pi times the radius squared. Here's my radius, it's 2 miles. So I'm going to fill that in for r. Area is pi times 2 squared. 2 squared is 2 times 2. So my area is pi times 2 times 2 is 4. Pi times 4. Gonna fill in what I know for pi. Just 3.14 times my radius squared of 4. So I get that 3.14 times 4 is 12.56. My unit is miles squared. All right, let's do example 1 together. First thing I need to do, what shape is this? It's a triangle. So that tells me to go back and look at my formulas. I find that the area is 1/2 base times height. So my area is 1/2. My base is over here this time, it's on the outside, 7, times my height of 5.4. So my area, oh, there's my pen, is 1/2, 7 times 5.4 is 37.8. Then I need to take 37.8, split it in half by divided by 2. I get the area is 18.9 feet squared. Here's my unit of feet. All right, example 2, figure out what shape it is. It's a rectangle. The area is the base times height. Here's my base. Here's my height. So I just multiply 3.9 times 1.7, and I get that the area is 6.63. My unit is meters squared. Almost there. Example 3. This one's a little trickier. Well, first let's figure out what shape it is. It's a circle. The area is pi times the radius squared. So the area is pi. If we look over here, on the circle, I'm given the diameter. So if the diameter is 12.6, I only need to know halfway. So if I divide this by 2, that's going to give me my radius. 12.6 divided by 2 is 6.3. Circle that to hold on to it. So I'm going to plug it in for my radius, 6.3 squared. This step, area is pi My radius squared, 6.3 squared, is 39.69. Then this step, I'm going to fill in what I know for pi, 3.14 times 39.69. And I get that my area is 124.6266. Here I have centimeters squared. All right, last but not least, find the area of this shape. First of all, it's a square, so I'm going to label it. The area is the base times the height. Here's my base. Here's my height. So my area is 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16. My units are miles squared. And that's it. Squares and rectangles are probably the easier ones. Okay, I have one last example. Draw a rectangle with an area of 10 centimeters squared. So I know that the area of a rectangle is the base times the height. I'm given that the area is 10, so I need to know that whatever the base times height is needs to equal 10. So I'm going to think to myself, what two numbers multiply to be 10? I have 1 and 10, 2 and 5. And there's some other ones if you want to do halves, but we won't get into those now. So I could have that my base is 1 and my height is 10, or my base is 2 and my height is 5. So if I'm going to pick 2 and 5. Oops, that wasn't a highlighter. I'm going to pick 2 and 5. So I'm going to draw a rectangle that is 2 centimeters tall, and then it has a base of 5 centimeters. So you would use a ruler in real life, but for the sake of doing it on the screen. So that's all there is to that one.